Alright everybody, what is going on? Welcome back once again to the channel. So today's video that we're going to check out is titled Eat, and it is by channel or YouTube channel Vice. If you want to check out the original video on your own, you can click in the description down below. I have the link down there if you want to click on that. Check it out on your own. Otherwise, you can watch me react to this, and I will give you guys my thoughts as always right after the film. But before we check this out, everybody make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you are enjoying the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you are notified every time I upload any video, and leave any comments down below that you might have, any requests, any recommendations, anything like that. I'm always more than happy to read your guys' comments. Alright, and also share the YouTube channel, share the videos if you really are, once again, enjoying them. Let them know we're doing reactions and we're doing speed drawings as well. Alright, so once you subscribe, you guys, it really helps the channel out. You know, we make sure it's growing slowly but surely, and I'm always happy to see new subscribers here. So yeah, make sure to hit that button down below there. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on to this video. Let's check this out and see what we think. And of course, let's get scared. Eat. Oh my god. Is it something like where another human eats another human? Or one human eats another? Oh, please don't let it be that.
Hey, I can't seem to find my keys. I live in apartment 212. Can you let me in?
Sorry.
Really? Asshole.
Yeah. This is the second time I hear that word right on the next video that I watch.
Hello?
Hi. How are you?
Great. Would you mind letting me in, please?
Yes. Be right back.
What is he so nervous about? Does he like her, or what's going on? He definitely has a thing for her.
Scared me. What are you smiling at?
Smells like soup.
Hey, wait a second. I know you're in there.
Okay.
I live next door.
Okay.
Do you have a phone I could use or some quarters I could borrow? Please? Thanks. I locked my phone and my keys in my apartment. I live next door.
You already said that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't she already say that?
Gotta keep the crooks out.
My phone's in the other room.
Wow, his apartment looks terrible. It's all messed up all over the place. The
Smells like
walls are-
vinegar.
I pickle my own beets.
That's cool. It's really cool. It's different. I'm surprised we haven't run into each other before. Wow, you have a landline. How old are you?
I'm not old.
Oh, no, it was a joke, because I haven't seen a landline in years.
Can I get you anything?
Space. Hi. You busy? Oh, I locked myself out again. I went out to get a paper from a neighbor's phone. What do you want me to say? I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person. What? You're yelling again. You know, I really appreciate this because I don't already feel bad. So this kind of thing, this kind of exchange, this kind of way you're choosing to engage in is really great because it reminds me that I'm a real dick. Well, I'm leaving now. Thanks for the water. It was delicious.
Can you stay and eat?
I'm not hungry. I had a huge breakfast with my boyfriend.
No, you didn't.
Okay, but I do have a boyfriend.
No, you
So?
don't. Oh, no.
I'm leaving. Thanks for having me.
Your bag's still here. Please stay in. I don't get a lot of people here.
Are the windows always closed?
I'm a pretty good cook.
Well, I bet. So how long have you lived here? It's so empty.
2 years. In this apartment.
No way. Me too. Next door. Stop staring at me like that.
What is happening right now?
I'm gonna use your phone again. Hey, you think you could come sooner? It's the neighbor. Because it's weird. He's sort of funny. No, I'm serious. Yes. No, I can't leave. Because.
Ooh, this is getting tense.
What are you making?
She should like stall him and
Noodles and meatloaf.
have him grab her something, and while he goes and grabs it, just run out the door.
It's my mother's favorite.
Oh, is she coming?
She died 2 years ago.
Here? I'm sorry. I'm a little scattered.
Why don't you sit down?
Oh my god. Oh no.
Was that your boyfriend on the phone?
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Sound travels in here.
I should go.
You don't have to.
There's the knives. Grab a knife.
Is there something on my face?
Grab a knife.
You can't just put your finger in a person's mouth.
Why?
I swear, their dialogue back and forth is so strange.
Are you sick? What is this? Why do you have my mail?
I don't know.
Oh
You don't
my
know?
god.
No, I don't know.
You're lying.
Please don't be upset. I think I picked it up by accident.
No, I'm not upset. I'm just confused.
You are upset. You're yelling at me and you're looking at me like I hurt you.
No, I'm not yelling.
Grab a knife.
Do you always wear your hair like that?
What?
Grab a knife and get out of there.
What's your name?
Oh.
August.
August?
Augustus.
Augustus?
I grew up here. Next door.
I'm leaving.
Please don't be mad at me.
Oh man, she should have grabbed a knife.
Can I hold you?
No.
She should have grabbed the blade. I swear. That would have been so much
I
faster.
promise I'll be good. I just don't want to be alone.
Oh man.
My boyfriend's on his way here, so I don't know what you have planned, but you're not going to get away with it.
Oh my god, she made it worse. Oh god. Oh wait, never. I thought he was gonna attack her even faster when she said that. What is she still doing in there? Is she gonna hold him? Why did you go back, woman? What? Oh my god, I swear. Yo, this pissed me off at the end. I'm not gonna lie. I was so disappointed on her actions. Really? Alright, everybody, there you have it. That was Eat. So, this film was very scary and unsettling in a fresh way, very unique way. And what I mean specifically is that it was very silent. There was no sound of music. There was no constant dialogue, like back to back. You know, there was a long silences between dialogues and awkwardness as well. So very spaced out silences. And I thought that really worked. I mean, at some points it was just killing me. I was like, man, it's so awkward, the conversation sometimes. It's so quiet. But it worked. You know, it definitely gave that weird, unsettling, strange vibe. But, you know, the film begins with this man in his apartment, and he's just kind of, you know, there standing in his room. He buttons up his vest that he has on, his sweater, and he's just looking out the window, waiting for a specific person. And eventually he sees this person come in, which we know is this young woman that is standing outside of the building and just happens to have lost or left her keys in her apartment and also her phone. But later we find out that also she left the phone in there. At the moment we know that she can't get into the building because she doesn't have the keys. And well, this man, when he sees her, he runs down the stairs, which looked very comedic. Just the way he ran downstairs, it looked really, really funny. And well, he eventually gets to the main doors of the building. They're like glass doors, so he can see the young woman there, requesting that he let her in. But he says, no, sorry. And he, you know, grabs his mail and he takes it upstairs. And when he makes his way back to his apartment, into his room, he hears the buzz again, which scares him, right? And then he looks out the window and the young woman is still out there and she's saying, hey, can you let me in, please? And he like greets her saying, how you doing? Like if he just saw her for the first time again, but he just saw her a few seconds ago. But he still, you know, what do you call that? Like continues to just say, hey, how you doing? And the woman's like, I'm great. And she's, you know, you can hear the frustration in her voice. And she's like, can you let me in, please? Right? And the man this time replies just, okay. And he goes downstairs he buzzes her in. And I think he's the manager of the place there or something, because he looks like he just buzzed her in. And well, she gets into the building, and while she makes her way up to the apartment, this man is freshening up his hair, and he's throwing water in his face. And we can see that he has an interest towards this young woman. He's got some intentions as well. And he opens his door, his main door to his apartment, and he realizes the young woman is standing there next door in, you know, the next apartment. Apparently these two people are neighbors, and I guess this woman never knew about it. You know, we find out that this man has been living in this apartment for 2 years. I'm not sure how much time she's been living there. I didn't catch that part, but this man's been around there for a while. And so he sees the woman struggling, you know, through her bag, trying to find her keys and her phone. And well, this is when we find out that she also left her phone in her apartment. So then this is where she requests this man to let her borrow his phone. And we all know that what's going to happen here. The story is about to get, you know, very intense here. It's getting interesting, right? So when she asks him about the phone, he lets her in. You know, I think at first he just kind of says something like a joke or whatever. He shuts his door on her. And it looks like he's shy or something. I don't know, just very childlike behavior. But she insists that he lets her use the phone. So she knocks back on the door and, you know, just kind of eventually talks him into opening the door again. And eventually he opens the door. She makes her way in. And, well, this is when we start seeing his environment a little more. Like, besides just the room where we were introduced at in the beginning of the film, we see more of the house, how it's very old. The walls are very peeled. And he's also got this really old landline phone that he takes out to, you know, for her to make the call. And, you know, she notices that, she laughs at him, or she laughs at the fact that he has an old phone, calls him old. He does not respond, and like in amusement, he just kind of gets serious. But then she has to reassure that she was joking, and, you know, eventually he smiles, but in a very creepy way. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say here is this man's behavior is very, you know, abnormal. And she doesn't seem to pick up on that, or maybe she does, but she just proceeds to, you know, still like use the phone in his house, have a seat and all of that, make herself comfortable. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, you know, this woman should have just been like, you know what, I'll just use somebody else's phone and left that apartment as soon as she got the chance. But no, she's there. She makes the call, and this man's just, you know, just acting so weird around her, and you know, he gives her space, walks away, right? And he just kind of comes back. It's so strange how all this is happening. There's moments in this apartment where they're having conversations back and forth, and they're so slow, the responses. It's just really weird, you know, very awkward. But, well, I mean, after she makes the phone call, she tells him, oh, thanks, I'm going to get going now. But he insists her now that she stays for dinner, like for her to stay by and eat with him, because he's alone. He hasn't had company in a while. And well, we know that he lives by himself, right? There's a point where she tells him, or at some point they bring up his mom, and he just tells her, oh, she died, you know, she died a long time ago or so. Some time ago. And at that point I was like, okay, I mean, I didn't think about it, but now I'm thinking, did he kill his mom? I don't know. I mean, because I was not surprised at this point. But, well, we know that his mom passed away, and he's ended up just alone. He's never had a person with him, any relationship, any romantic relationship, and he's just, you can see by his behavior that he's just been alone for his whole life, ever since his mom passed away. And, well, when she's trying to leave the apartment, that, you know, by the way, the main door is locked shut, right? So, I mean, red flag right there. But when she's trying to get out, he insists that she stays to eat. She ends up staying over a little bit for a few moments to eat, but he continues to act very strange with her and starts to tell her, like, you know, hey, like, do you always wear your hair like that? When she starts trying to, you know, already leave again. And eventually she makes another call to her boyfriend, I guess, and, you know, tells him that her boyfriend's coming pretty soon or whatever, right? So he should be on his way. But the second time that she's making this phone call, though, she is whispering now into the phone and telling this other person, which presumably is her boyfriend, and, you know, whispering to him that this man is funny acting, and, you know, she feels really uncomfortable, and if he can get there sooner. And, well, this man is now beginning to suspect that she's, you know, asking somebody to come get her quick, and that she's very scared, and just making him seem like he's a bad person. And so he still he keeps his distance, though, but you can see this look on his face where he's like, okay, you know, what are you doing? After she makes this call, she's about to walk out, and the man tells her that she should just have a sit down. You know, and she's obviously getting scared and freaked out, but she does as the man requests, and she goes back into the kitchen. I mean, God, like, the door's right there. You know, she could have stalled him or something, you know, made him get distracted and say, hey, can you bring me another drink or something? And right there, she could have made her way out. But, you know, she just listens to him, and she goes and she sits back down. And by the way, behind the dinner table, we see, like, by the window, that there is a set of knives there. You know, and so, I mean, at this whole time, I was like, grab a kitchen knife and, you know, threaten him with it until you can get out of the apartment. But at no point at all, she goes for those knives, and I was just going crazy, like, yelling into the screen, and at some points, like, get the knives, you know. But no, she doesn't reach for any of those knives. And the man, you know, he approaches her in a very creepy way as she sits down. And he puts his finger in her mouth very, very quickly, and she obviously turns away and gets his finger out. And she just says, hey, you shouldn't put your finger in people's mouths. And so, I mean, the behavior here between both characters is very strange, because we can see that he's not right. He's unstable, and she's just still sitting there. Well, while he's staring back at her, you know, when he walks away from her, he makes his way to the stove, and he's just there staring at her, and she's all freaked out. She notices on the table that there is a lot of her mail there. And she says, hey, how did you get my mail? And he's like, I don't know. And, well, she begins to get more concerned, even more than she already is. And the guy's like, are you getting angry at me? Like, if I did something to you, like, if I hurt you? She says, no, I'm not angry. I'm confused now. What's going on? You know, and so he says he doesn't know how he got the mail, and it must have been a mistake or something. And she's like, no, you've been getting my mail. And so, well, after she tells him about the mail, this is when the situation just gets really bad, and everything just breaks loose. And she reaches really quick, what I thought it was going to be one of those kitchen blades or kitchen knives, but she reaches for a hammer right beside her, which, okay, great, that's a good weapon, but you're not going to strike as fast as a blade, as a knife, penetrate right through if he tries to attack, even on close range. She's not going to do much with that hammer if he's really close to her, but she grabs the hammer and she, holds it up and she says, "What's your name?" And he tells her, "Oh, my name's Augustus." And well, as she's backing away from him with that hammer, he's coming towards her and eventually just overpowers her and grabs her. And then he starts to put his hand on her mouth, and she doesn't do anything. She's terrified. She's not going to strike with that hammer. She was just holding it to threaten, scare him off. But, it didn't work. He still grabs her. And well, he tells her, "Hey, I'll promise I'll be good. I just don't have company over all the time." And that's when she says, "Hey, my boyfriend's on his way, so whatever your intentions are, you're not going to get away with it." And that's when he just kind of starts to, get angry, but he backs away from her. I thought at that point he was going to really not take his time with this anymore. He was just going to go for what his intentions were. But no, he backs away and he goes into the kitchen and he just goes up against the wall and starts to scream and almost cry and almost get into a fetal position, right, against the wall. And he leaves her alone. And so this is her chance, obviously, for her to just leave the place and never see this man again. But, possibly even move the heck out of that apartment building. But nope, we think that she left because the camera stays on the man as he's crying on the ground, on the floor, sobbing and being angry and all that. We think that she left, but we see her come back into the frame. Are you kidding me? I was like, what made you come back to this man that just assaulted you, that physically, almost hurt you really badly? You're going back to this man, and she kneels down to him in a compassionate type of way, and she's looks like she's about to hold him, hug him. And just the moment there is so long and it just takes its time there. It just makes you wonder what's going to happen here. Well, we hear the doorbell ring twice, and this man just grabs this woman in front of him and just starts choking her, and eventually just takes her to the ground and continues to choke her there we know what's going to happen next after that. And oh my God, at this point I was like, please somebody just burst through that door and help this woman, because she is not very smart. She should have left so long ago, find so many ways to just stall this man and distract him and then just get out whenever she has a chance. But even when she had 100% of an opportunity to get out, she decides to go back in. So, I just felt so bad for her at the end. And unfortunately, he ends up killing her, and that's where the story ends right there, and nobody saves her. And so, this made me so angry at the end. I was just so disappointed by her lack of action whenever she had the chance, to get out. So, this drove me nuts, you guys, but I think that this was a well shot story. It was well filmed. The dialogue was good. It was awkward. It was so silent. It was so spaced out, like I said, but it worked very well for the tension, to cause tension in this film. And just frustration, oh God, what's going to happen next? It worked really good. So I really enjoyed this film for what it was. But again, I was just disappointed, not of the film, but of the actions of the character, of our main character, the young woman. So I had to look back, and they were saying that the man, the film is about an eating disorder. So the man represents her inner conversation that she has with herself. And every time, the way she sees this man, very lonely, very unattractive in a way, creepy. It's the way that she sees herself. It's from what I understood from this comment. And the food, at the end when he knocks over the bowl of food, this is her knocking over her food in order to avoid getting, looking like that, gaining weight and becoming physically unattractive. All of these things, right? Eventually, if she ends up leaving this sort of lifestyle, which, connects to her wanting to leave the apartment of this man. If she leaves this lifestyle, she'll end up alone, and that'll be the end of that. So she continues to stay and live this horrible lifestyle, which eventually will kill her, right? So this is this is what I did not get from this film. So I had to, again, go down to the comment section and check out what people had to say about it. So, and there was just one comment that I read, and I thought it was brilliant, the way they broke down the film. So, I wanted to give credit where credit is due. I'm not going to name the person that dropped the comment, but if you guys watch the video on your own, in the link down below this video, you'll see the comments down below that, and you'll see that comment that I'm talking about. So it'll say something like that. Of course, I paraphrased here. But anyway, that is just fantastic. It's brilliantly shown, but it's not something that I would have gotten right away. You guys can tell. You guys can see that I didn't get that right away from the start. So it makes sense. It really does make sense. And I think that this was a very scary and sad way of showing it, very, very scary. But nothing at any point in the film, I thought this woman had an eating disorder. I mean, she was a little thin, but I didn't think she was representing anybody of an eating disorder. But I guess the man that she met was. And this, again, is a way that she saw herself. So very interesting. Very interesting. I didn't even think about it like that. So, there you have it, my friends. Those are my thoughts. What did you guys think about this film? Let me know down below. Let me know if I left anything out, or if you hated it, or if you liked it. I don't know. What stood out to you? Let me know. I'm more than happy to read your comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this with me. I hope you all have an amazing day. Take care of yourselves. Peace.